Hello. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Pastor Joe is sitting in his cabin, looking out at the dogwoods that are beginning to bloom. This has become my friend today. And this, that looks backwards to me. It probably looks fine to you though. Right under my right shoulder blade. I think it was from this and generally from being out of shape. That's what it's from. But working on the house, trying to get it done. Hey, Viking meetups. I did a post on it. They're important. Let's talk about that. If you live within 3 hours driving time of a Viking meetup, you should go. You should go. You should bring your significant other with you. The purpose of the meetups is to get people of like mind, meaning into preparedness together. Details are up to the hosts. Hosts have certain autonomy here. But generally speaking, people don't have to be Vikings to come. You can bring your neighbor who's interested in preparedness and bring them to the meeting too. Again, the whole purpose is to meet people of like minds so that if there's 30 people there, you may connect with 2 or 3 of them. That may form the ability for you to go off and start doing things together and maybe form your own crew, which is where the goodness really starts, right? But first you got to meet people. How do you meet people? There's 1,000 people at the shopping mall. Who's into preparedness? Well, when you go to a Viking meetup, everybody there's into preparedness of one degree or another. So go. Just because people are there doesn't mean you bare your soul, right? You don't know those people. I don't know those people. But on the other hand, it's important that you open up a little bit. You know, again, and I've talked about this before. I don't have any sunglasses sitting around. You can't be that dude that sits in the back like this with the dark glasses and doesn't talk to anybody, because check it, no one's going to talk to you. Okay? Be real. Doesn't mean you need to give people the keys to your kingdom. Little word to the wise there. All right. Housekeeping, because we have new Vikings. The only people who are allowed to comment on that last post that I did on Viking meetups, upcoming Viking meetups, are the hosts. If you have a question for the host, send them an email. If you have a comment for the host, send them an email. I'm trying to keep that whole list neat and tidy so that Vikings can just go there and have one-stop shopping for the upcoming meetups for the month. And I'm a little bit late. I can't see without my glasses on. Sometimes I can. Not that late. Today's the 4th. So this should cover us through 8 hosts. If you know of any meetups in the future, go ahead and put them there. You should probably do a separate post for each meetup. Like if you have one scheduled for April and you already have one scheduled for May, make 2 different posts, 2 different comments, if you will. I know a lot of you all have already been doing that in the community section. I am trying to, you can just copy paste what you have there onto the comments of the upcoming Viking meetups. I'm trying to have one-stop shopping. I'm trying to help you get more people. All right, so meetups. I told you it's to meet people of like mind. Why do you have to do that? Why do I have to explain it again? You need people for what's coming. A lot of people are feeling, you know, times are getting crunchy, getting ready to get crunchy. Venezuela, did you hear? Now, I think I even talked about it. The Russians landed there. I may have talked about it in a write-up. 2 jets landed in I think Caracas or a military base outside of Caracas, Venezuela, with about 100 Russians, soldiers. I think they were probably, they say they were advisors. I think they were probably mostly air defense advisors, but they could also be a pilot team looking around and going, okay, we're going to need to do this on the runway. These guys are going over there to figure out logistics, bed down, you know, all right, we're with the thought that we're fixing to bring in, you know, a brigade, a Soviet division, and we need to know where they're all going to go. And so these people are there coordinating that. Could be that. You should read about the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Kind of interesting how they did that. They just showed up. But yeah, people went ahead of time and set things up. And I'm sure there were some special operators there doing what they do. Then I heard the other day that the Chinese sent a military contingent there. What's going on? I was just talking with someone who shall remain nameless unless they want to be named, but we were discussing how in this area, the uniform, if you will, the clothing that works really well is the old cotton uniforms. You know, the cotton ripstop. Cotton kills, yeah, except in a tropical environment, which around here in summertime, it's cool to have cotton, literally and figuratively. And then also the old jungle boots, which they don't make anymore. And I made the comment to him that just give it time. Once Venezuela kicks off, the army will remember the beauty of ripstop cotton and jungle boots, and they'll come back. But yeah, that could start happening. Who knows where that's going to go? I don't know. You don't know, but it could go scary fast. So, peeps, you need peeps. And before you can have peeps, you got to meet peeps. And then you got to establish rapport. And I guess I will do a video next on forming, storming, norming, performing, on building groups. I might talk about that a little bit. But for now, Viking meetups, they're in the offing. Go. Go. And for those of you who are like, are there any meetups around Tempe, Arizona? I got a better suggestion for you than asking if there's any meetups near Tempe, Arizona, which I just pulled out of my hat. Tempe, Arizona. Look on the listing. If you don't see any for Tempe, Arizona, host one. Host it, build it, and they will come. Find a place, set a date, set a time, get the place, and then start talking about it. Hey, we're having a Viking meetup. We're going to talk about preparedness. Why don't you come? Post it here. Let's see what happens. Invite your friends. Get on meetup.com. Get on Craigslist. Do all the things to get people who are interested in preparedness to come to your meeting. Have a basic plan for what you want to talk about. Get everybody to introduce each other, have some social time, and announce at that meeting when the next meeting is, when and where. Always have the second meeting set up ahead of time. This is where the goodness starts. It's not that hard. I've talked about it before. Scroll back in the posts, how to host a meetup, that kind of thing. For those of you who are new, welcome. Welcome aboard. I'm glad to have you here. You have a lot of catching up to do. I've been pouring my heart and soul into this channel for the last over a year now. So welcome aboard. We enjoy having you here. I'm interested in your comments, except on the upcoming Viking meetup. All right, I'll see you out there.